Can you believe it? I can't. It's Disneyland news time, covering all the headlines coming out of the West Coast theme park, the original Disneyland. Hello, my friends. Wade joining you here for all of the headlines alongside Tyler and Katrina to discuss what's been happening with the news stories coming out of the original Magic Kingdom. First and foremost, if you haven't heard, well, our friends at Disneyland are officially reopening California Adventure in a food event capacity. In fact, this food event capacity is going to be a bit unique. They're not even calling it a festival, but a Facebook post from Workers United Local 60, a union that represents many Disneyland Resort cast members, has revealed some more details about exactly who will be going back to work and thus exactly what areas of the park will be open as part of this special event. In short, the entire park, save the as yet unopened Avengers Campus, will be available for guests to wander through and buy food and drink. According to the post, Carsland, Pacific Wharf, Pixar Pier, and Grizzly Peak will all be opened for the event. In addition, at least 6 booths likely offering special food and drink items will also be in place. Of course, Buena Vista Street, which had been opened to downtown Disney guests, will be a part of this event as well, something that we had been talking about for several weeks here as to how they were going to make that happen. This means that said street should now be closed off to guests who don't buy tickets to the event. That's not exactly shocking. Buena Vista Street is the entrance point at Disney California Adventure. It should be essentially impossible to make the rest of the park available to ticketed guests while leaving that open to downtown Disney visitors. This all coming from a writer at cinemablend.com. I will mention that as something we had pointed out before in discussing the original news that this was happening, was mainly that there was a way in which they could do it. So not entirely impossible, as that writer says, but potentially opening up the floodgates nearest the Grand Californian entrance next to the World of Disney doors into downtown Disney could have been a separate entrance entirely for this special event, but it sounds like potentially that's not happening after all, and that California Adventure will be opening up in a limited capacity with 6 food booths. I kind of anticipated a little more than that, though, Katrina.
When I read it, I was like, 6?
Yeah. What?
That's it? But again, if they're opening Carthay, like if they're opening Carthay Circle to the public or like to the ticketed event and possibly Lamplight Lounge, and they're opening Carsland and they're going to have like food options there and all this other stuff, if they had like a full on like maybe 10 booths, 10 to 15, no one would want to sit at Carthay and have like, like tapas, or no one would really want to go have like a full on dinner at Lamplight Lounge, and then you're hurting those restaurants. And then I just can't imagine. And if they decided to even open up the Trattoria too, I don't think they're doing that. Did they announce that? I don't know. But if they decide to try to open these like little by little, I think it would just eat into the food booths. But hey, at least you guys got food booths. At least you're able to walk around Carsland, because that's like the coolest spot to go and just kind of like walk around and just enjoy the splendor. So I'm excited about it. I'm curious how much it's going to cost.
We heard your prediction the last time,
hey,
right?
Listen, like $60 is like I think that's like fair.
Yeah.
$60 is fair, and like with 6 food booths, I even doubt they're going to give you a tasting card. Like,
yeah, I don't think so.
There's no way. Like 6 food booths, or if you even had like 5 choices, even 3, it would be kind of like very far stretch, like or maybe they're like, you're able to like go to like get a hot dog or something at Award Wieners or whatnot.
So you think they're going to charge you $60 to let you into California Adventure and not give you anything on top of that?
Yes.
They might give you a lanyard or something.
If you could only see Tyler's face right now, he's just like,
if that's the case, I just don't. I mean, they're going to get people to come, but maybe their goal is to try and get people to stop coming over and over again, because that's what I feel like this is going to do. Like,
also,
people are going to come once or twice and then be done. Sorry, go ahead.
If you did pay for this event, are you parking at downtown Disney parking, or are you going to be parking at the parking structure and walking over? Because now you're paying $10 to park and you're paying for getting into the park. Are you going to get a free entry? I have questions.
Yeah.
I need answers.
A lot of unanswered at the moment.
Josh, call me.
Call her.
$60 is fair. People are going to pay the price to walk in and go see, like you're seeing, like Cozy Cone right now. Who would pay? I was saying, like, when the lockdown happened, I would pay so much money just to walk down and go get a cozy cone macaroni and cheese thing, and like
Mac and cheese cone.
yeah, your mac and cheese cone. Like, now's your chance.
Yep.
$60.
Yeah, but you would
That's
do
what I'm
that
saying.
once, wouldn't you? I just feel like most people would be like, okay, I'll do that once, and then.
I think that's their point. They don't want the
That's what I'm
locals to
saying. Is
come
like, are
in.
they trying to get people to stop coming? Because it's
Oh, wham,
Kind of.
bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's what it's kind of seeming
That's
like.
their motto, right? As soon
If
as you
that's
walk
what-
into the door, like
Yeah.
you scan your ID badge and it's like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, picture a Stitch next to it.
You've been soaked.
I just feel like Stitch has to be a part of this for some reason. I don't know why.
It just sucks because it breaks my heart because we're so excited to go to Carthay again, and we were able to go back a couple times now, and it was just so great to just, hey, I have a reservation.
Mhm.
Let's go have like a really nice like lunch or a dinner, have a couple drinks, walk around a little bit, kind of soak it in,
Yeah.
and then leave. That was it. And then now we're not going to be able to do that because how can you possibly pay $60 a pop multiple times?
Yep. Completely agree.
I mean, and we spent a lot of money.
Shrinking.
I mean, I'm not trying to say how much it was or anything,
Yep.
but we spent a
This is
good
like
deal
Trader
of money.
Sam's over here.
I know, yeah,
My
Sink it
chair
down.
is shrinking. I don't know what's going sinking into the ground here.
Gosh, what was I even saying? Wow,
Carthay
that totally.
Circle. I don't know.
Yeah, something about Carthay.
Going back.
Gosh.
Going back
I
to-
was gonna say, like, we've, the first time we went back to Carthay, like, it was not cheap. Like,
Yeah.
we spent a lot of money, and you're telling me you want me to now spend $120 to get us in there just so I can spend more hundreds of dollars? Like, I'm like, that sounds really bad, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they made more money. Like, I mean, hey, if Josh can call me and tell me this is true, I feel like they would make more money on their reservation system that they have now at Carthay and for the restaurant alone, and able to bring and like expand and like bring in more people
Mhm.
to work for that section than do a food event and have 6 booths and have all these things open, and then Carthay, and then how much can people possibly eat?
Right.
Like, so you're going to be eating at these food booths, you're going to munch around everywhere, and then go to Carthay and what? Just not like, you're just going to like sit there and have a drink,
Mhm.
and you're not going to order as much, or just like a food item and all share or something, like I feel like you're not going to order as much if you paid in for this event
Right.
versus having these reservations. Because like, I mean, I have a couple reservations coming up now, and I'm like already looking forward to the salad and my drinks and the delicious fish. I have to recommend the fish. It's delicious. I can't believe they make it in like the little oven, the little downstairs turbo chef thing.
Yeah, all the food
It
that they
is
make.
insane
If
what
for
they
anybody
cook
that
in
doesn't
there.
know, they're using these things called turbo chefs, which are basically oven microwaves, and they use
toaster
them
oven.
for everything.
Wow.
Oh my god, the lamb,
downstairs, and it's actually
Perfect.
kind of incredible. They
And it
can
works,
do
huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's actually kind of
that
incredible.
fish was so good. I had
the
the
lamb.
salmon, the
Like, I can't
snapper.
believe they can cook lamb in that thing. It's like really weird.
Oh my
But
gosh,
Wow,
it.
what a
I mean, it's
positive.
phenomenal food. Nonetheless, it's a little expensive for what it is, but it's delicious nonetheless. And like just like the hosts, the servers, everybody, the ambiance, just like you're there, you're like, oh my gosh, this is great, and then you just get emotional and stuff. And then
Lots
just
of
you want to
tears.
hug everybody. You're just like, oh, thank you so much for being back,
So
you guys. And
glad
you're like,
you're
please
here.
don't touch me.
6 feet.
Corona.
6 feet. Well, it's nice to hear that. I mean, this event is finally coming online. As we've said before, it's great news to know that they're going to finally do something. We've been waiting, but we would love to hear what you think when it comes to this idea of 6 booths online and a handful of lands and spaces that you can sort of explore without attractions and without rides. And who knows if any entertainment might be mixed in here and there, but
Oh,
as
five and dime.
it would be nice
For
to
the
see
love
that.
of
Oh, mostly kosher.
Oh yeah.
Bring them on.
Oh man, can I quickly like maybe guess what foods they're probably going to offer on the food booth?
Go for it. What do you think?
Macaroni and cheese,
Yeah, I'll
some
Sliders.
sliders, and a macaron.
Yeah, that sounds so
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah.
I bet you're absolutely right.
Two kinds of macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Let's just call it, okay?
There's got to be an Impossible Burger in there. Somewhere.
Maybe a mac and cheese booth.
And
Just
a-
all things mac and cheese, right?
Yeah.
3 or 4 times.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's my
Good pick. Well, another Disneyland news, the Anaheim City Council is backing a bill that would require Disneyland to reopen earlier. So we've spoken about this before, and the Los Angeles Times writes it up very nicely, saying that the Anaheim City Council is backing a state bill that could allow Disneyland to reopen from its pandemic closure earlier than expected. The council voted 6-1 in favor of supporting the Assembly Bill 420, which was introduced earlier this month by Assembly members Sharon Quirk Silva, who serves North Orange County, and Suzette Valadares. I never say that right. The bill would allow larger theme parks such as Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm to reopen after meeting the same requirements as smaller amusement parks. The state's theme park reopening guidelines hold that a larger theme park can reopen at only 25% capacity when its county is in the minimal tier, minimal tier of less than one new COVID case per 100,000 people per day and a coronavirus positivity rate of less than 2%. So Anaheim City Council essentially just coming in here behind this bill that was presented and saying, we agree, we approve, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, we need money, please. Yes.
Let's make that happen.
Let's do this.
Nice to see that they're on board. I didn't think they wouldn't be. It looks like one person abstaining there on the council, but the majority of them all saying, it's time. We can do this safely. They've proven it out east, and let's get things back on board. Not just Knott's Berry Farm, obviously, also Universal coupled in this bill. And I know, we saw Tyler this week also.
Yeah.
Six Flags just sort of come out and announce, come hell or high water, they're just opening.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday on Twitter, literally Six Flags Magic Mountain was just like, we're opening in spring with rides. And so, okay, more power to you, Six Flags. I would love to know what they know, because it was a really weird thing to come out. Honestly, Tiki Andy pointed it out to me yesterday, and I was just like, excuse me, what? I don't know what they're talking about, but I mean, I don't doubt that it can happen, but I don't believe that somebody told them that it was like, oh yeah, this is a for sure thing. Yeah. And they were like, oh yeah, hey, just so you know, we're big fans of Bugs Bunny, so instead of going to over to those Disney guys over there who have that mouse fella, we thought we'd tell you, you're opening first, good job, Six Flags. And then, yeah, cool. No, that didn't happen. So
nope. It seems like it's just gonna happen for them, so they're just gonna throw open those gates apparently. And they did say in their story that I guess it was one of the vice presidents from Six Flags was mentioning that they're working on hammering out specific dates for California, Canada, and Illinois or something like that. But at any rate, they're working on hammering out those dates specifically, but that they're opening. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it that little old dancing man that's just like, what? I'm going to tweet.
He's like, I don't care. He's like, I can't hear anything anyway. I've got this music all loud. I'm old. I'm just going to keep on dancing.
I'm going to tweet.
Yeah.
See?
And then he made the announcement.
Yeah.
They're
he's
like,
been waiting.
Old man, and then he's just dancing away.
So we have good news on the front that Six Flags basically says, to hell with you, we're opening. We have good news that the City Council of Anaheim is supporting the state bill to override the governor's power in this capacity and moving the tier system, if you will, to allow Disneyland to open a little bit sooner. Good news, especially given the fact that we've seen Walt Disney World has been able to do this safely for months since last summer, and now Disneyland might finally have that opportunity. We will see when that vote happens, what occurs, and just how fast they can move into that position. The Orange County Register has an interesting thing that they've pointed out recently with the surveys that have come out to annual pass holders abroad who might be annual pass holders for Disneyland. Surveys have come out sort of asking people's feedback on what they would value when it comes to a new annual pass and sort of what's important to them. The writer for Orange County Register says that the coronavirus pandemic could bring an end to monthly payments for Disneyland annual passes and eliminate a budget-friendly practice that has been blamed for a surge in overcrowding at the Anaheim theme park, saying Disneyland is considering discontinuing monthly payments for APs, according to pass holder surveys conducted by Disney. Disneyland, California Adventure, and other California theme parks are unlikely to return to full operation until spring or summer under COVID-19 health and safety reopening guidelines issued by the state. Disneyland has been surveying pass holders by email to determine the most popular option combinations and price points for a new membership program that will replace the former AP program. The surveys, along with extensive qualitative research, will offer consumer insights to help inform the development of future Disneyland membership offerings designed to deliver choice, flexibility, and value, according to Disney officials. The Disney Annual Pass survey question asks, imagine that monthly payments were no longer available at the Disneyland Resort in California. Which one of the following best describes what you would have done. And then the options are would not have a pass, would keep the pass but trade down to a less expensive version, and would keep the pass and stay at the same level. So this is something that the majority of people, it seems, or close to, I think, almost half of annual pass holders have the monthly payment plan, right? So when the monthly payment plan was installed for annual pass holders in Southern California, and we need to remind everybody, about 1 million plus people have annual passes for Disneyland, or I should say had, in past tense now that they wiped the AP program away. But now we look at this and think, wow, this is something else. We are now in a situation where potentially they could just eliminate that entire payment plan system. And if they do that, we would then see, I think, a huge elimination of a big part of the problem, which is the majority of people using that to their advantage. And that was causing the overcrowding, just like the story says. Do you imagine? I mean, we all talked about this while I was working for Disney, and I would hear executives talking about this all the time, that the biggest problem is the monthly payment program. Mm-hmm. And if you eliminate that, you eliminate the problem. It's a huge chunk of revenue, however, that they would get monthly, that would just come flooding in every month. So that's also something to be considered. But do you think that the repurposed plan, Tyler, that comes back online eventually, going to have a monthly payment plan or not?
Yeah, I mean, I would be kind of surprised if it did. Especially because it doesn't seem like it's going to be your standard kind of annual pass type of program. There's definitely going to be some type of differences here and there. You're not going to be able to go I don't think there's going to be any choice to go 365 days a year. But we shall see. Yeah.
Man. I mean, they kind of needed to do it though at the business standpoint, because I mean, that's too many people. If they maybe might get 1/5 of the people, like out of the million, they may get 1/5 to pony up the dough and just pay. Yeah,
and who knows how expensive that new program is going to be. And, because it's obviously going to be a premium, and it's going to be capped and much smaller than this last time, this pre-pandemic level. And I know that certainly with the payment plan, it allowed access for almost everybody. And I think that was one of the nice things about it. But at the same time, you would see on many days Disneyland just completely overwhelmed. Disneyland just wall-to-wall people. And, to a certain degree, I'll even say that, and this is not meant to be a slight at anyone or any group or any people that can or can't afford an annual pass. It is a luxury to be able to afford theme park tickets. It is a luxury to be able to go to a place like Disneyland. Tyler says it's a premium product. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is a premium product. However, one of the things that was standing out to me over the last couple of years, as you were just seeing an overwhelming amount of people weekend to weekend at Disneyland that would just come in on the weekend with their kids just to have fun and go play. It did, over the course of time, feel like Disneyland was being overrun. It wasn't all that fun anymore because you were just bounced around between crowds.
Yeah.
You were waiting an hour and a half to get on an attraction. Everybody seemed... Not everybody, I guess. I'll rein that back in. Most people seemed frazzled in that environment because it is very overwhelming. It is uncomfortable to a certain degree. You couldn't get into a quick service dining restaurant if you wanted to. That wasn't going to make you wait 35 to 40 minutes outside just to get in to get your plate. There was a lot of things stacking up, and it was taxing the infrastructure. And then don't even get me started on the poor people that were trying to come in on the weekend that didn't have a place to park because all the parking was taken by 10 a.m., and there was no place to go. And so you were circling the city of Anaheim, and the police were just telling you to keep going, keep circling.
Or the hotels would bust out their signs, be like, you want to park here? $25.
Got a little extra cash? You can park over here. It's just one of those things that over the course of time, it almost feels like Disneyland became less special because absolutely everybody could have access to it. Absolutely everybody could be there all at one time. And it wasn't the experience that it should have been in the long run because it was overwhelmed and they couldn't provide to you the same sort of experience. And, shame on the executives that allowed it to get that way.
Yeah.
Because you want a premium experience, you're paying for a premium experience, you should expect one when you're paying for it. And if you're not getting it, something needs to be done. Sounds like something's finally being done. Even outside of the million plus that have the passes that were going every weekend, think about those poor people that were mixed into that spent 10 grand on a week, coming to Disneyland, staying at those ridiculously priced hotels.
Imagine like the
getting those
Grand
tickets.
Californian. Let's just say they stayed at the Grand Californian for a week and bought park hopper tickets.
Wasn't fair to them either.
And they were going during like Christmas week no, not Christmas week because they're blocked out. Yeah, but like going on like a crazy weekend on a food festival.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's even worse.
Way
They
too much.
they made a mistake by they incentivized you to become a local annual pass holder. Like they made it so that it was easier for you to go about your day than even these people who, like you guys are mentioning, spend thousands and thousands of dollars going to Grand California and staying for a whole week. These people who come in from out of state, they have the locals have a leg up on them. Like that's just how it is, and that's just not fair to all these people who come in from out of state. And
let us know in the comment section down below what you think that's most important. Are you somebody that visited Disneyland from the outside with the big spending out of town tourist, and you're thankful to hear that annual pass program as we know it is going away, and maybe monthly payments are being eliminated, thus eliminating an even bigger subgroup of that pass holder program? Or are you a annual pass holder who's very upset because there's a potential you're going to lose your monthly payment plan? Let us know in the comment section down below. We would love to hear your perspective.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.